I think Asia has already been witness to settlement compression even before the US T+1. But what was known to everybody and the entire world looked upon was the US T+1. But if you recollect and look at about a year or two prior to that, India moved to US T+1. Not so much of fanfare, but when that happened, one of the big things that we looked at from an India standpoint was a large investor base which originated from the US. So when you make a change here, US as a big originator of investments does have an impact. And I still recollect vividly that India wanted to address it so that there is no impact to investors coming from the US. And similarly, when US moved to T+1, one of the things they looked at is how investors from the East will be impacted, and not just India, a lot of countries here, because of time zone difference and multiple things, right? So there's a slightly different problem when things happen at either end of the world, but that needs to be addressed. And there will be, and there is always an impact, but there is always a solution to addressing it as well. It's just that the US T+1 was that much more conspicuous than the India one, which is obviously restricted to just a smaller one. But I think this settlement compression will go. I don't even know how many of you are familiar that just before the US moved to T+1, Philippines moved from T+3 to T+2. Never got noticed at all.
Philippines.
It just happened silently and just went live one day. And I don't know how many of you are tracking India, which is already live on T0, but for retail investors, optional, and soon going to go T+0 for institutional investors. That, I think, will be a big change. Very interesting to see how that will eventually pan out. But we are fairly confident that all of the challenges that will be there in moving towards that will be addressed. Industry and everybody will move on to that. And once that happens, I'm more interested to see how others are going to follow suit and see if they're going to make an attempt to go to T+0. And once you get to T+0, there is a next step that is also under consideration, which is to go towards what is called as atomic settlement, instantaneous settlement, right? In the world where we are talking about real time, and if you're servicing the retail investors, which is probably the most important thing from a regulatory standpoint, they would all want to go towards this. And I think that is the direction everybody is taking. Asia is probably going to be taking the lead on this, but eventually I think everybody will follow suit.